Thank you, Rob, my dear neighbor. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, first may I say just how delighted I'm to be with you tonight. I have to say I'm a very proud migrant of Australia. Through sheer luck, I became a ballet dancer. And then through my dancing career, it took me all around the world, went to performing in many countries and several continents. But tonight, I would like to share certain aspects of my life experience with you, just how I came calling Australia my home. I was born into utter poverty in Mao's Communist China, and that's the village I was born into. We had no running water when I grew up. We have to walk miles carrying buckets of water home each day, little, almost no heating. The temperature in my hometown could get down to between 18 to 20 degrees below zero at wintertime. But the worst memory of them all was the starvation I'd experienced as a child. There were roughly between 35 to 40 million people died of starvation during the time I was born. Certain years during my youth, even all the tree barks have been eaten by desperate people in my village. Despite that incredible struggle in life, my parents gave us incredible amount of love, unconditional love, instilled some secret values and principles that I still carry with me today. Their integrity, honesty, dignity, hard work ethic, and the aspiration to care and have compassion for others. But their love, most importantly, gave me hope and courage, enough strength to dream big, dream to get out that terrible life I was born into. A dream of one opportunity to allow me to do so. And this one incredible opportunity certainly happened to me one day. I could still remember this moment so vividly. It snowed so hard the night before, and it continued to snow the following day. Snow had piled up over a meter high across the countryside. Peasants barely shoveled this thick snow, piled the dirt road so people could simply pass through. That morning, I was wearing these thick quilted cotton pants my mother had sewn for me. With that, I looked like this round snowball. We were sitting in this heatless, freezingly cold classroom, which made out a simple mud coming shack, much worse looking than that. You could feel the whirling wind outside chilling deeply into your bones. We all sitting there shivering. Now, what was supposed to keep us warm was our teacher told us to read this "We Love You, Chairman Mao" text 10 times in a row. You could well imagine just how heartwarming that was. In the middle of that reading, 4 men were suddenly led into our classroom. They were introduced to us as Madam Mao's cultural advisors from the Beijing Dance Academy, and they were there to select talents to study ballet. Ballet? What ballet? There's no such thing in our lives thing. Ballet, any type of life experiences in culturally, was so far removed from the life we were born into. So we didn't know what ballet was. And then these 4 men asked all to stand up to sing songs. You could well guess, the only kind of songs we're ever told and allowed to sing was "We Love You, Chairman Mao" kind of songs. So in the middle of that singing, these 4 men walk along the aisles, look at each person's faces, try and get some vague idea of our physical body shape through our thick quilted cotton pants. They passed me by without taking any notice. Out of the 40 kids in the room that day, they selected one girl. Just as when they were walking that girl out the door, my class teacher hesitated and tapped on the shoulder of the very last gentleman, virtually just as that man was about to walk out of the room. She said to him, "Excuse me, sir, what about that one?" And that one was me. You'd be surprised to hear this. Throughout my journey, I was too busy pursuing my faraway dreams. I never really thought to ask that teacher why did she single me on that day. Eventually, I tracked her down and phoned up and said, "Teacher, son, could you please tell me why did you single me out that day?" She said to me, "Li, for all these years I wondered, I still don't know." That's it. That was one fateful moment. Even she didn't know what happened. From that moment onwards, at age 11, I left home. Went to Beijing to study ballet for 7 long years. The training there was incredibly brutal and hard. We started from 5:30 in the morning all the way until 9 o'clock at night. 6 days a week we trained. At first, I was hopeless. I hated ballet with passion. Hated everything about ballet. Eventually, because of this one amazing teacher who inspired me deeply, changed my entire view about this art form. Eventually, I fell in love with this beautiful art form. From that moment onwards, the 5:30 in the mornings were simply not early enough. The 9 o'clock at night was too far away, too soon for me to go to sleep. So I would get myself up at 5 o'clock in the morning, often earlier, strap heavy sandbags to both my ankles, hop one leg up and down on 4 levels of stairs. Morning after morning, I hopped like mad. For my turns, I would sneak away into a dark ballet studio after people had went to sleep after 9 o'clock at night. I couldn't turn on the light being discovered and sitting back to bed. I would light this candle. In front of this little candle light kept on spinning and turning. Fell down and get up. I was determined. If I could turn with darkness around me, then I could eventually turn brilliantly on stage with lights. If I could leap high with this heavy weight dragging me down my legs, I would eventually have this incredible muscle strength to allow me to soar and sustain in the air. So eventually I became one of the best dancers China had ever produced. And that's eventually how I became. And then another opportunity came my way. I was discovered by an incredibly talented ballet master and the director of the Houston Ballet, Ben Stevenson. As one of the first cultural exchange students, went to America to study ballet. But at age 18, I didn't speak a single word of English there. So someone lent me this tiny Chinese and English dictionary, become my Bible in life. I thought to myself, if I could learn everything in this dictionary, I'll be fine. From learning it, I discovered these 2 beautiful English expressions, which I thought to myself, these will become highly useful when I get there. One of them was, "Oh dear me." And the second one was, "Upon my soul." Of course, I had no idea how old-fashioned this little thing was. Then I went to America and went on this amazing dreamlike journey. From not speaking any English, eventually buried my head in classical English literature, because I knew for me to become a wonderful dancer, not only what I can dance physically, but also I have to mature artistically as a person. And I traveled around the world, danced in front of presidents, prime ministers, royalties. Winning 2 silver and bronze medals at 3 different international ballet competitions. They were the equivalent to the Olympics of the dance world. During my performance, one of my performance engagements in London, I met my wonderful wife, Mary McKendry. She later on discovered she was Queensland born. So she was my connection. He eventually came back to Australia and danced with the Australian Ballet as a principal dancer for 3.5 years. The last 3.5 years of my career, but they were the best. And you know, when you go to somewhere, you feel a sense of affinity. For me, Australia is that place. I still remember the first year I struggled through in Australia. I couldn't wait to get out here to go back to America. And then by the second time I come back, I felt relieved, felt safe, and felt happy. Only then I realized Australia will be my home for the rest of my life. So I'm very proud to be a new Australian. And I truly believe wholeheartedly that Australia as a country has so much to offer, has incredible possibilities and potential. And I truly believe we have a wonderful, relatively highly respected educational system, healthcare system, legal system, and political system. So many countries in the world will be very envious indeed. And I think this country has a lot of generous spirit. It's a country allowing people from all walks of life, doesn't matter where you come from, still be able to make a decent living, which is a lot to be said than many other countries on this earth. Often I hear people whinging around me. I truly hope Australia doesn't become a nation of whingers. I truly don't. Because so many people, particularly people born here, don't know how lucky we truly are. People like me, I would have nearly sacrificed my life for the freedom Australia has to offer. But why can't we be just grateful, be happy, and be part of to making Australia even greater? I truly believe each one of us, residents of this wonderful land, have the capacity, have the ability to do just that. To making, doesn't matter how big or how small, contributions. Together, I believe, as a nation, we can make Australia an even greater country than our forefathers have left us. Together, we can create a country that can be the pride and joy of future generations. Thank you very much. Thank you. And tonight as the artistic director of Queensland Ballet, and shortly some of our young dancers, our young talents, will be performing a short ballet for you. And they are some of our future stars. So I hope you enjoy that. Thank you very much.